All right, today we're going to be going in depth on how to solve equilibrium problems in chemistry. Okay, now the central idea here is using a rice table or an ice table. Some people call it an ice table. When we look at an equilibrium problem, we're going to look at this problem, for example, and I'm going to give you the equation. It's NaCl going to NO plus Cl2. Okay, so this is going to be 2NoCl going to 2NO plus Cl2. It's not going to be balanced. I just balanced it for you. Okay, so let's first read the problem. 20 moles of NoCl is placed inside an empty 4-liter container. So right away, we are able to infer that at the initial time, there is no NO, there is no Cl2 in our container. It's only NoCl. And then at equilibrium, 8 moles of Cl2 is in the container. And we need to find Kc. Okay, so let's go over again what our K equilibrium constant means. Okay, K equilibrium constant is going to be a constant number that is equal to the concentration of products at equilibrium divided by the concentration of reactants at equilibrium, raised to their respective coefficient exponents. Okay, so that was a bunch of words. Let me just show you what I mean. In this case, my K equilibrium value, Kc, is going to be the concentration of one of my products, NO, raised to the power of its coefficient, squared, times the concentration of my other product, Cl2, raised to its coefficient, which in this case is a 1, which can disappear for all intents and purposes, divided by the concentration of our reactants, NoCl, raised to their coefficient, squared. Okay? So, in order to find Kc, this is the K value with respect to concentrations, we need to know all these concentrations, okay? Now, alternatively, you could be asked for the Kp, which is the K value in terms of partial pressures, which is equal to the partial pressure of NO squared times the partial pressure of Cl2 all over the partial pressure of NoCl squared, okay? So you replace concentrations with partial pressures. We're asked for specifically Kc. We need a rice table in order to determine these concentrations, RICE. I call it a rice. R is reaction, I stands for initial, C stands for change, and E stands for equilibrium. And we're going to go through exactly what that means and how to use it, okay? So since we want a Kc, since we're looking for everything in terms of concentrations, we need to deal in concentrations, okay? I have 20 moles of NoCl in a 4-liter container, okay? So I'm going to take 20 moles divided by 4 liters, and that's going to give me a concentration of NoCl of 5 moles per liter, okay? So that 5 moles per liter that I just calculated, that's my initial NoCl. It's going to be 5 molar, okay? It said that the container is empty, which means I have 0 NO and I have 0 Cl2. Now comes in the change. Change means how are my concentrations going to change as I reach equilibrium? As the reaction progresses towards equilibrium, the reaction is going to happen a certain number of times. The reaction is going to happen X times, okay? Let's say that. Reaction happens X times, okay? So that means NoCl is going to change by 2x, meaning 2 NoCl is consumed every one time that the reaction progresses. Okay, so this is a minus 2x because 2 is consumed every time the reaction progresses. This is going to be a plus 2x because 2NO is formed each time the reaction happens, and this is just going to be a plus x. 1 Cl2 is formed every time the reaction happens. So that means at equilibrium, we're going to have 5 minus 2x, and x, okay? So our equilibrium concentration of NaCl is 5 minus 2x. So now we have completed our rice table, all right? Now we need to continue to use other information that we've been given. At equilibrium, 8 moles of Cl2 is in the container, okay? So we need to convert that information into a concentration. So I'm going to take 8 moles and divide it by the total volume of my container, 4 liters, and I have 2 molar of Cl2 at equilibrium. That at equilibrium is important. So in my rice table, I know that the equilibrium concentration of Cl2 is X, and by my problem statement, I know the equilibrium concentration of Cl2 is 2 molar. X equals 2. All right, now that I have this piece of information, I can substitute in for the rest of everything. So we just determined equilibrium concentration of Cl2 is 2 molar. Equilibrium concentration of NO equals 4 molar, because it's 2 times 2. And then finally, equilibrium concentration of NaCl is going to be 5 minus 2 times 2, which is 1 molar. Now I'm going to bring down my Kc equation, and I'm going to plug everything in. Kc equals concentration of NO squared, so that's going to be 4 squared times the concentration of Cl2 times 2, divided by the concentration of NaCl, which is 1 squared. So this is going to come out to 16 times 2 all over 1. This is going to come out to 32. So our Kc here is 32. Okay. This next problem is an example of finding the concentration at equilibrium given the equilibrium constant, whereas this was finding the equilibrium constant given the concentration at equilibrium. Okay, so a different approach that you're definitely going to see. Okay, so step 1 is, again, we're going to set up our rice table. Reaction, initial, change, equilibrium. We have a 1 molar solution of NH3, 1 molar, okay? H2O is a liquid, so that's not going to participate in our equilibrium expression. It's a pure liquid. And we're starting with 0 NH4 plus and 0 OH minus. So we're trying to figure out how much is going to convert into OH minus. So minus X, 1 NH3 is consumed every time the reaction progresses, plus X. So we're going to have 1 minus X, X, and X, okay? And now this Kb, it's the same as our Kc, except for bases, okay? Bases produce OH minus. Our Kb is the concentration of NH4 plus times the concentration of OH minus all over the concentration of our reactant, NH3, okay? So, substituting in these values, we're going to get that this is equal to x squared all over 1 minus x, okay? Now, what I'm noticing here is that my Kb, my K equilibrium constant, is very small. It's something times 10 to the negative 5, okay? So when I see that my K value is very small, I can write down here that I assume x is small, okay? What that means is, since I see that the K value is very small, I'm assuming that the reaction goes forward a very small amount, okay? That's what this means when I say assume x is small. Assume a very small amount of products are formed, okay? So when I write assume x is small, what that allows me to do is I can look at my equation or my equilibrium expression here, either one, and I can say anytime that x appears as an addition or a subtraction term, I can eliminate it, okay? X is here, it's not being added or subtracted from anything, so this needs to stay alone. But I have x being subtracted from something here, which means when I assume x is small, I can destroy this term. And I can say that this is approximately equal to x squared over 1, okay? If I assume x is really, really small, let's say it's 1/10 of a penny, it means x is about 10 to the negative 5. It's on that scale. It might be 10 to the negative 4, it might be 10 to the negative 6. But if I have 1 minus 10 to the negative 4, that is approximately equal to 1. The difference is negligible, okay? So once that I make that simplification, my work becomes much, much easier, okay? So KB, I had it up here, it was 5 times 10 to the negative 5 equals, or rather, is approximately equal to x squared over 1. So I get that x equals rad 5 times 10 to the negative 5. I'm going to plug this into my calculator. 5 times 10 raised to the negative 5. And that gets me that x equals 0.007. Okay? The concentration of OH minus is x, so this is the concentration of OH minus. And now I am done. It is 7 millimolar. That is how I find concentrations given an equilibrium constant. So this has been Chemical Equilibrium, everyone. If you believe you have learned something useful, go leave a like. If you need extra help, go to meekextrahelp.com or join the Discord server, both linked down below. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy life.